Howdy on Willex Lives. I think it's time to play a little 7 Days to Die. Alright. Probably gonna do a little looting on my way over to picking up a new quest. My plan anyways. I definitely need some more brass. So I want to get over here near the store and then start hitting the buildings nearby. That is the plan until we get closer to the 6:30 mark. So we'll see how this goes. I'm sure it's going to go better than my numerous attempts to clear a tier 5. Oh man, that last one went bad. The one before that though, I really thought I was going to clear it until I got to the roof and then didn't realize my gun needed to be repaired. And then I was just dead. That's what you get for not paying attention. Yeah, oh man, this weekend, I'll tell you. I know I talk a bit about how nobody ever lets me know what's going on. This was one of those weekends. So the company I work for is an international company. And so they have offices all over the place. And the problem is that some of the offices that I work with, it's not a problem, but one of the issues is that a lot of times on Mondays there are holidays, but they're not always in the same place. So last Monday was a holiday here, and so our offices were closed. And this Monday, there's offices, other places that are closed that I needed to work with. And it can lead to some scheduling issues for how much work I have to do as I get toward the weekends. And so Friday, I was super busy trying to get everything cleared up for the weekend. And I was like, alright. So I'll just have to, buckle down on Friday and put in some extra, several extra hours, try and get things done. And so as I've mentioned, my work, I should go around the other side. My work is more of a on my schedule as long as offices aren't closed anyways. So I got started early Friday because it's practically summertime here. And I guess it's spring. Technically we're in the spring. It's mowing season. And so I'm like, alright, get all this work done now, and then maybe I can get out and get the lawn mowed, and then that way I could have all of my Saturday and Sunday clear. You wish. Oh no, did I already loot this place? Well no, because this door's here, so I accidentally just killed a bed. I'm not really here to loot. I'm here to get doorknobs. Oop, I punched your arm off. And so I get done with work, and I start to fill all the, paperwork at the end of being done with everything. And I start getting everything shut down to go out and mow the lawn, and then my sister gets home. Uh, and she's like, "Oh, you getting ready to get ready?" I'm like, "Get ready for what?" And she says, "Well, we're having that going away party tonight. We're all supposed to go out to the movies together." I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Oh yeah, yeah. You know that guy we know? He's moving tomorrow. So this is the last hurrah before he moves to another state." I'm like, "What? What is going on?" No, no one mentioned any of this to me. And she's like, "No, no, we told you. We've known since Monday." I'm like, "No, nobody said anything to me. What do you mean?" Like, I knew they were moving, but they told me, I had been told that it wasn't until in the fall. Um, and, so I had no idea what they were talking about. So we went and saw Into the Spider-Verse 2. Pretty good. I, uh, I felt like it might be a little overly long. It felt to me like they were covering too many different storylines a little bit, and they probably could have pared it down by a whole storyline or two. I don't know. This doesn't look too bad. Oh, yep. Well, I take that back. I don't know where those guys came from. I was trying to, hey buddy, I got a bandage here for a second, okay? Oh, I didn't think you were close enough to hit me. He was, though. So yeah, it was pretty enjoyable. The bad guy's a little silly. Um, and like I said, they've got about I don't know, a dozen different storylines going. And so it really feels like maybe they could have dumped a couple and streamed the movie down slightly. It was like 2.5 hours long. And it was only part one. So, oh. Finishing moves do 20% extra damage to knock down and stunned opponents. Nice. And it sounds like that completed a book there. Oh, got another book. Shotgun Messiah. Learn just where to hit your targets to maximize damage. Shotguns do. I don't use shotguns. That one didn't finish. A book line. Weak. Alright, let's see about getting back out of here. You got no more doors for me to knock down? I don't need to be in here. Oh. Found more door. I must have missed a door inside here. Or just got yourself a little root cellar. Yeah, I don't need paint. Yeah, I guess it's just a little root cellar. So, by the time that got all finished, it was well after 10. And, so then I'm like, alright, well, clearly the fact that I had a bunch of videos recorded means that I had space to not record. So I didn't record Friday. And then Saturday, they're like, yeah, so we got a soccer game we're going to. And so you're going to have the dog until we get back. I'm like, alright. Now let me stress the words. We have a soccer game to go to. Soccer game started at noon or 1. And, now I could have put the dog in his kennel. But I was like, it's pretty hot out, so I'll just wait until they get back. And I figured I'd probably mow around, 4 or 5. That's pretty warm, so I'd probably wait till about 6 or 7 to get started anyways. So I wasn't too worried about that part. But we got to 6 or 7, and they still weren't home. And I was like, okay, and no messages or anything from them. I'm like, okay, well, apparently they decided to do something else besides in addition to the soccer game. So it's nice. They're like, hey, you got the dog till we get home from our soccer game. But what we really meant was, you've got the dog until we decide to come home at 9 o'clock at night. Which is totally different concept. And, so... Oh. This isn't really saving my ammo. So, I ended up hooking the dog out and just mowing near the different places I could hook him out at. I mean, again, I could have put him in his kennel, but who wants to be in a tiny little cage for hours at a time, right? It's pretty rare for him to get shut up in there. He sleeps in there, so it's not that big a deal. It's not like it's something he never goes in. He often sleeps there at night with the door open, obviously. I just get... Is that the silencer? No. No, I thought that was a scope. But then I didn't read the thing, and then I'm like, ooh, wait, what did that say? Your dang old flashlight. So yeah, I mowed until... I think I came in about 8:30. I started about 6. Probably. It was still pretty sunny out when I started. There was a nice breeze, so I thought that I could get out there and enjoy the breeze while it was warm. For sure, it was in the 80s, but with the breeze it wasn't so bad. But still, waiting and waiting and waiting, and they're not coming home, and they're not coming home. I'm just like, yep, here we go again. Let's tell them one thing, and then we'll do something totally else. And then, So what I've been doing is I've been listening to podcasts while I mow the lawn. I've got noise canceling earmuffs, construction earmuffs things, block out all the sound. That Bluetooth, and so I look up to my phone and listen to podcasts, catching up on Critical Role. I'm so far behind. I think I'm on the Halloween episode from last year, so I'm just a little bit behind, but yeah. And then Sunday, so again, I did record some on. I already did this down here, right? Nope. I did record some on Saturday, because I didn't want to go out in the super hot middle of the afternoon. But then on Sunday, I didn't realize it was my nephew's birthday. For some reason, I thought his birthday was in July. It is not. And so, I, trying to remember. I think it's the same day. So, my brother came over, with two of his kids, and, and they came over to pick up some stuff from the shed out back, that belongs to them. That's been here for years and in the way. And they only came over because what they really wanted was my sister was going to put up a fence at one point and decided not to. And so we still had all of the material to put up the fence, and he wanted to put up a fence at his place. And so he saw this as a good opportunity to get a fence for free. It's not the kind he wanted to put up, but it's free, And so he came over to get that, and then I'm like, hey, if they're coming over here with a trailer to get all that, they should probably get some of the other stuff too. And so she told him that, and so they showed up and actually got out a couple of the big things that I really wanted gone. And then I was like, ooh, I better go out there and not help, but watch a little bit toward the end to make sure they don't take anything that's mine. Because, they're like, oh, hey, I've been looking for that thing. Oh, you mean my hammer? You've been looking for my hammer? I'm pretty sure that two of these tape measures belong to me. No, those are both mine. What about the screwdriver set? Nope, that's mine too. Are you sure? Pretty sure I have one just like this. Well, you may, but that one's mine. That kind of stuff. And so, you got anything? Don't look like you.
Alright, now that we're done doing business, get out of my store.
Listen, I just want a nice,
I'm gonna make you an offer. What are you standing there for?
easy,
Don't you have
something I can handle. Okay, I clearly can't handle the tier 5s, but give me a nice tier 4. I can handle tier 4s pretty easy. But I'm gonna go dump off this stuff first. So anyways, we cleared all that stuff out, and then I was joking around. This is really irritating me a little bit. I was joking around, because the guy who's moving, or moved at that point, had brought over an end for the modular trimmer thing I've got. And so basically it's a motor, and then you connect different tools on the end of it depending on what you're trying to work with. And so he had a piece that he wasn't going to use, and so he brought it over, and he so I had my stuff all set up, and charging it's electric, so it's charging the batteries, and it was leaning up against the wall in a particular place, so it was out of the way, and it had the trimmer head on it that I've been using every week. And well, he took it down and swapped ends, and then because the end that he swapped it to is like this rototill end, it was quite a bit bigger and heavier than the trimmer end, and so it didn't sit up against the wall like it was. So he just, for whatever reason, they swapped it out, because it was him and my brother-in-law. They swapped it out, and then they just left it laying in the middle of the garage floor. I know they didn't say anything to me, right? Like, my sister was like, hey, did you see the end he put on your thing? I'm like, no, I don't know what you're talking about. Because, again, no one says anything to me. And so, scrap that. And so, yeah, they just left my trimmer, with the new rototill and, well, not new, but the rototill end he put on it, laying in the middle of the garage floor, and then my brother-in-law put a bunch of his fishing equipment on top of it. Like his fishing poles are laid over top of it. And so when my brother was there, I was talking about how he put that thing on the end of my thing, and I'm like, yep, I haven't been able to get any work done with it though, because I've been using that trimmer end, and they went ahead and put that. I'm just joking around. Put that rototiller end on there, so can't believe you just take a man's tools like that and not put them back where they came from, because my brother's well known for that kind of thing, and taking my tools and not bringing them back. And so I'm like, I haven't been able to get any work done since, because he's got the wrong end on my trimmer. Instead of putting back the end that was on there, putting it back where I had it. And my brother-in-law got all pissy about it, and was like, "Oh yeah, is that what's stopping you from working out here? Is that what's stopping you from working out here?" And I'm thinking, well, I'm the only one that does work out here, so I don't know why you're getting all irritated about nobody doing any work out here, because none of y'all do anything in here. You talk about it a lot, but you never come out here. And so he picked up his fishing stuff off of the top of my trimmer and swapped the ends around. He's like, well, there you go. Now you can get back to work out here. I'm like, dude, I was joking. Like, calm down. It had nothing to do with you. I was just joking that other guy had swapped the ends on my thing. It's okay. And then that guy, the guy that moved, his wife hasn't moved yet. They're gonna be here another month, getting things, I guess, packed up. I don't know why she's staying here a month and he's already gone. Well, I know why he's gone, because his job started today, he said. And so but she was here, and I thought that was weird. And then her kids were here, and I thought that was less weird, because they're friends with my niece and nephew. And then it turned out that it's because they were having a birthday party for my nephew. And I didn't know it was his birthday, because I don't think I've heard one person mention his birthday at all. Usually, we talk about this stuff, but no one's told me anything. So I'm like, oh, okay. And so then we got that, and that ran right up till well, I'm like, yeah, I've got to go. It was here at my house, but I'm like, I can't sit up here anymore with y'all. I've got other things scheduled I've got to go do. So that was, played some more Redfall. And, yeah, so it was a crazy busy weekend. I just, I don't know. I was really hoping to be pretty easy, because I got that new System Shock game. Well, the remake, um, I wanted to try and get into. And I managed to get one episode recorded because I did, I've already did System Shock 1 and 2, and they're regular versions, and then this is the remake, so I wanted to go ahead and do a series on the remake for comparison purposes. And but I only had time to do one episode. So I'll probably try and get into that tonight after this. Do another episode. Okay, I gotta clear this thing, so I need to. You know what? I should be using this. Are you dead? But yeah. I finished watching the 2 seasons of the Mighty Gemstones. That was, parts of it were pretty funny. I, kind of like the guy who wrote and directed and starred in it. I can't think what his name is off the top of my head, though. Okay. Let's face it, guys. My ability to fight hand-to-hand is way lower than my ability to fight with a gun because I've been fighting with the old hand-to-hand, or the gun, so much recently. Forgot to get my door handle here. I didn't even get a door handle. Weak. It's a weird show about mega church family and all their celebrity issues. Danny McBride, that's the name of the guy. Danny McBride is the guy who wrote it. He did I've liked his other series was pretty good too. Eastbound and Down, where he played a baseball player who couldn't hold himself together, and so he basically screwed up his baseball career by just all this, drunk and drugged out shenanigans. And then he has to move back to his brother's place. This one's kind of like that, but they're all a family, and their mother was a I don't know what keeps making that noise, man. What's making that noise? I thought it was a vulture, but then I didn't see him when we were on the roof. Shut up. I only listen to your noise. Yeah, their mother was like a child star in the Christian music world, and then they've got an uncle who was like her singing partner, and then their father turned out to be a wrestling star from like I don't know what they're called, like the lower level professional wrestling circuits, and so then they haven't shown like where they met or anything, but he became the preacher And then they have built up this huge mega church off of some of the shenanigans. And so it was funny in parts. It's a little too... They're levels for me. And so it's a little too... Aha, look at how we're funny. And, to be really good for me. But, you know, like I said, I did enjoy parts of it, and I do find Danny McBride funny sometimes. And so there are definitely parts of that show that I enjoyed. But it's like... It's like the father built this huge mega church, and then his kids are idiots. Even though, you know, the kids are all in their 30s and 40s. But they were raised rich, basically. And, you know, in the Christian megachurch church world. And so they're really bizarre and, like... you know, I think it started off with, the oldest son, played by Dan McBride, getting, blackmailed, for, the time he spent, he was in, I think it was Atlanta, at some kind of church thing, and they, brought prostitutes and cocaine to their apartment, or their room that they rented, him and some of the other church elders, right? And then it turned out to be, like, his son was doing the blackmailing. And so some of that storyline's pretty good. You know, funny-wise or serious-wise. But a lot of it is just, like, bizarre. And when they bring in, like, this other mega church group, and then, like, assassination attempts and all sorts of craziness. Just really, really is funny, but, you know, just maybe a little too bizarre for me to think it's a great show. But I did watch the 2 seasons that are out, and I'll probably watch them. Well, I finished Barry. That was a good one. I didn't think I'd like it, and but I really did enjoy. The only reason I didn't think I'd like it was because people were telling me I should watch it. I know that sounds like a horrible reason to think I'm not going to like something, but let's be fair, I don't tend to necessarily like super popular things. Not because they're super popular. I don't care whether something's popular or not. I feel like my taste is a little off. Off of the popular norm. And, so I tend to end up not necessarily liking things that are super popular, and Barry was pretty popular, but it turned out it was pretty good. I thought they did a good job with that one. That's the guy comes back from the military, and his air quotes uncle. Unkill that one. I think it's like his father's friend. Decides to take advantage of how messed up he is and turn him into an assassin for hire. And then he becomes the handler, and so he was basically taking all the money and keeping it because Barry just is content with living in, like, tiny little one-room apartment kind of thing. And then he wants his money because he wants to... I don't remember what I wanted to do. But his uncle tells him he's got to do one more job, and so he sends him out to California. And I think the plan was he does some work for these Chechnyan mafia guys, and then they're supposed to kill him. And so, but in the process of doing work for them, he comes across in an acting class, and he kind of gets pushed into the acting class, and he loves it, and so he wants to become an actor. This is saying I haven't cleared everything. What am I missing? Where am I missing? I've been knocking out these doors. There's a door missed. Get them door handles. Who am I missing? Where are they at? That dude down here? This is where I came in? I don't remember. Oh. No, definitely didn't do down here. Oh man. Can't aim. She almost killed me. Oh, she will kill me. Trying to get myself dead. But yeah, that was pretty fun. And they just finished their last season. So I have seen all of Barry, and I liked it. It's funny, and to me, anyways, it's funny, and decent enough action for when they do have action. Fairly over the top, complicated story, but still fun. Let's see. Anything else I did? Like I said, Into the Spider-Verse was fun. I actually, when they got to the part where it's like, part 1, I was like, oh man, I was really getting into this. And I was like, man, is this like a 3.5-hour movie? Because there's no way they can finish this. Oh, crap. Oh, no! I can't even finish the tier 4 now. But, yep, that's pretty enjoyable. Man, I don't think I really did much else. That took up my whole weekend, and then my weekend was over. So, and today, of course, is back to the work week. What I could get done today, anyways. Alright, well, I'm gonna go get my motorcycle, and maybe I can do better next time. I don't know. I really thought this 7 Days to Die would be into its next phase, but I haven't really looked to see when the next alpha is supposed to be out. I really thought it was soon. I watched a thing about it, and I saw the developers were talking about the next one after the one that hasn't come out yet. So I don't know why I thought that red flag was where my motorcycle was, but I did. So I don't know how much longer we got on this world that I haven't completed. I mean, it would help if I'd stopped dying all the time, maybe. I did, I guess just real quick, before I end here, I did do, not a playthrough, but I played, a completed colony on... What is the name of that game? I don't remember. I was gonna tell you, but now I don't remember. Some about alien something. Uh, it's a survival game. Everyone, it had lots of positive reviews, and I had purchased it a long time ago while it was still like way in alpha, and so I was seeing some good reviews for it lately, and so I loaded it back up and I played that through a little bit over the last week, and altered, mm, shattered. I don't know. Man, it sucks. I can't remember it. But anyways, it's you start with four colonists. No, they're not even colonists. You start with four shipwreck survivors on an alien planet, and so you've got to like send your people out to observe the nature. So it's like a people compare it to RimWorld, but I didn't like RimWorld, and I did like this one. Although I felt like I mean I guess it's still in early access, but I felt like there wasn't enough to do, and I did get all of my original crew members plus two others off the planet. One of them, though, the last one that I picked up, so number 7, did not make it off the planet. She was not capable of fighting off the horde of bugs that swept over my colony after I had. That's the one thing I didn't like. Was part of the game is. Man, why are there so many guys over here? You reach a point where you can contact passing ships, and I mean you've only got a handful of people, right? And so it's it's got weather system, and you got to be making things, and you have your people crafting things. You got to have them taking care of your livestock. If you have livestock, you got to have them take cooking. You got to have them do medical stuff. You need people to shoot the bug creatures when they come in and try and attack you. You need all sorts of stuff. And when you can contact the ships, it's like random what the ship is gonna do, but the two choices are you get something or you can send someone back in a rescue pod. And I think that's dumb. I don't understand why it's a single person at a time, and then there could be months between ships showing up. So I don't like how it's like, because you got to send all your people out for the I guess you got to get all your people out for the level to end basically, and so it's harder and harder to get your people out when you're like, okay, my last 3 ships did not offer me a rescue pod, and I've only got 2 people left here, and they are struggling to fight off these waves of enemies, and keep the food going, and the fuel and the generators and stuff like that. So, yeah, I didn't like that part, but the rest of it's okay. I wish I could remember the name of it. I've played it hours and hours in it. You'd think I could remember the name of the game, but I definitely don't. Alright, well, with that, be brand the small things, lean to the light. I will talk to you later.